Feeling a dip in your hip, a glide in your stride. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe, with shows throughout the week. Everything you want, everything you could need. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from the spiritual to the unknown, from emotions to comedy. You can find us at Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and so much more. This is R.I.F.T Nation Network, the RNN. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
Sensitive/offensive content disclaimer. Please note that this podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Come on in, friends. Welcome to the R.I.F.T Nation Network. We are streaming live tonight at Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. Welcome in, everybody. We are hitting the end of September in the middle of eclipse season. And I am so lazy tonight. I was working on somebody's chart because this is where I do it. I thought, I got to get ready for the show. And I thought, no, I'm just going to do it here. I'm going to be lazy and cash. So it's a very casual Mysteries Beyond the Scenes. But we have kind of a different show, but it is a mystery, not a missing persons, not a homicide. But this show has taken, I would say, the world by storm with the arrest of the diddler. And let's face it, his houses, I take that back, houses were gone through. They served warrants in Miami, New York on an eclipse. And then he was arrested on an eclipse. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, you're not supposed to be here. Should I take you off?
Surprise. I don't usually do this, but this is a breaking news. I'm breaking into your
up
show.
Here, then I'll make you bigger.
No, you don't have to.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody, this is Howie. What is going on, Chief?
From all of us here at the R.I.F.T Nation Network to you, a most happy, magnificent birthday.
Oh, God love you. It was Sunday. Thank you. I was with the kids. My little ones. My little ones that are taller than me, and my grandson is now dating. He's dating. I'm like, I can't
Well,
take it. I can't take it.
this is not. I don't usually break into shows, but
Oh,
this was so
stay. You're what
break
you want to
into.
stay and talk about Diddley, the Diddler?
Oh, I wish I could, but I gotta get back to work. But I broke in for
Oh,
this.
love
So, travelers,
you.
I love you too, travelers, and those like. Wish our wonderful Joni a happy
Oh, you're
birthday,
so
and
sweet.
and thank you for being here for so long and sticking this out with us.
Oh,
We
love
love you.
you. I'll call you this week. Been busy. Look how lazy. Bye. He's so sweet, you guys. We love him so much, don't we? If you guys don't, he's got a great show with Miss Rhonda, the Orion Effect on Sunday nights. He's got a great show. He's a great director, great owner of the Rift. We love Howie. Well, let's check out the chat and let's get started, you guys. I thought, what's he doing? He wants to talk about the Diddler. He wants to talk about everybody's talking about the Diddler. You know, we've all known about the Diddler. This is nothing new. Let's check out the chat. Hello, Miss Lee. How are you? Miss Linda, Miss Michelle. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hello, Miss Tammy. Feeding the horses and the dogs. She's always with the little animals. Hello, Miss Denise. Hello, Suze. Michelle, Jennifer. Yes, it is. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Miss Kathy. I know I know I was going to make him bigger, but he was at work. Hello, Chris. How is everybody doing? How y'all doing? Hey, for everybody in Florida, all of our lovely, thank you for listening in. All of our Florida people. I know Miss Michelle's down at the coast. Prayers for you guys. Be safe. Be very safe. This is a nasty storm coming up, so just be very safe. Watch the news. You know, we've got a transit of Neptune and Mercury, and they're opposing. So I don't want you guys to just watch the news because it can get confusing. It can, what? What do you mean? You don't have a list? I do not have a list, but wow, chuckles. Oh, I missed that. You don't have a lisp. You don't have a lisp. Stay safe, Florida. Yes, we stay safe. You know, we got a lot of search and rescue people in Florida. We've got Michael down there with Peace River. We've got a lot of folks down in Florida. You know, Greg's in Florida. Everybody be safe. We love you, Florida. Be safe. Our prayers are with you guys. And if it gets bad, you guys can come up here. You know what's great is it's going to go like up to Atlanta and up by us. And we've been in the worst drought that I have seen in decades. Our grass is so brown, it's like straw. It's horrific. It's horrible. I've never seen it this bad. So the rain is going to be very welcome here. So hopefully it'll go through Florida fast and bring us all the rain because we need it desperately. So, let's get into some true crime stuff and then let's get to the Diddler story. Now, as you all know, with Diddy's astrology, I did his natal chart. Kim Porter was the mother of his children who passed away. You know, they were together, then they separated. They were not together, but she passed away at a young age of 47. Some say it was mysterious, that there was her autopsy was blah, blah, blah. You know, we have to be so careful right now because there are so many stories that are going around and you know, especially with Kim Porter's death, I think I've looked at enough crime charts and death charts and event charts, I thought, well, let's take a look at her chart, because just in my heart, I didn't think it was anything malefic. That's just going by intuition, which I should trust, but I don't. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at Kim Porter's chart, her death chart. We're going to take a look at Diddy's astrology. I was shocked at what I found. So I had to go dig even deeper and follow the friends. Steven Smith, who's a YouTuber, I think he's a sports guy. He kept saying, well, with Puffy, he was a Fed, and they're just using him to get to the higher ups. And I thought, well, who would be higher up that's in his circle? So I thought, well, we're going to take a look at Jay-Z. Interesting what I dug up with him. And then I thought, I found a lot of pictures of him and a past president of ours, Barack Obama. I thought, well, that's high up. He's higher up than Diddy. Let's look at his stuff. Those are the charts that I did, natal charts. So I think you're going to see the similarities in the charts are pretty mind-boggling. That's what happens when you look at natal charts. And if you have a pattern, if you have a pattern of friends, let's say okay, I'll give you an example. For example, we know Miss Rhonda on Sunday. We love Rhonda. Rhonda is a medium. She is friends with Kim Sage. Kim Sage is a medium. If we put their two charts together, they're like the tribes do have similarities in their charts. It's pretty amazing. I've heard that we reincarnate in pods. So if we do, there would be similarities in the charts. So I bet if I looked at Kim's chart and if I looked at Rhonda's chart, they would have a lot of very similar things in there. So when we look at Diddy, Jay-Z, and Obama's chart, wait until you see the similarities. And I was very shocked at the similarity of all three of their charts. Guess who it was? Of all people. Well, it's not a person. It's like a lunar node. Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is the star. Not so much the star of Diddy's chart, but she's very prevalent in all three of their charts. And I've never seen that. Usually when we have Black Moon Lilith, it's not really, she's a point in the universe, like the lunar nodes. She's the darkest away from the moon. Okay. She's just a spot out in space. She is the primal female energy, kind of like the forbidden fruit. And we'll get into that a little more. But to see how she affected Diddy's chart is mind-boggling. So let's get to it. I want to show you guys this chart. You're not going to believe it. It's really neat. I will, Renee. Renee. And Usher would be a good one to look at as well. Yes. And there were a few that I thought I would look at, and then out of, I think, grace, maybe for some of the people that I might consider victims, I didn't want to look at them, because I think there are some people that we would send a lot of grace to that are probably a lot of victims are going to come out of this as well. I've been around this crap for too long. I mean, it's like been decades of this. Decades. Yeah, Justin Bieber too. God love his heart. I'm glad he's found a family and a father. I'm so proud of him. So, what do we got going on with true crime this week? This week we are still in the YSL thug RICO trial down in Fulton County. If you like to watch trials and you want to see how the courts work, we're on 140 plus day. You want to see how a RICO trial is not supposed to be conducted, watch that trial. Still same old, same old. I'm going to order my free thug t-shirt. I'm going to order it. Let's see what else. Sebastian Rogers, the Mob Crew YouTube channel. Check out the Mob Crew if you are following Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. He is coming up with a lot of clues and doing a lot of boots on the ground work with the supposed flashlights. He's coming up with all kinds of cool stuff. So make sure and watch that. Let's see. I think that's about it for true crime. We don't really have anything going on true crime wise right now, which I'll take it. I like it. Yeah. Diddy was very close to Tupac before his death. Some say that he had something to do with it. But there are so many rumors right now that I think we're going to have to. He was on both sides, Vic and Perp. Yep. I think we're going to have to just watch it unfold. I think we're going to have to watch it unfold. Let's just hope he's not Epsteined. Let's hope he's not Epsteined. But you're going to be amazed at just a little bit of digging that I found out on this case about these people so far. If I found it, anybody can find it. So let's take a look at Kim Porter. But first, like we do every week, we go through about 3 organizations that are out there free of charge to assist families of the missing cold case homicides, for people to look up. They assist, they help search and rescue groups. And last week, because we have a lot of folks from Canada, these are our Canada friends. Ontario Search and Rescue Volunteer Association, OSARVA.com. There you go, Canada. Ontario Search and Rescue. Here's another Search and Rescue Volunteer Association of Canada, SARVAC, registered not-for-profit. This is a wonderful website loaded with information, Canada. sarvac.com, volunteers. And last but not least, National Missing Persons Advocacy Association. There we go. Yeah, that's what the girls, Carrie Lynn, were saying, oh, can we have some Canada groups? And I'm like, absolutely. So there are our Canada groups. SARVAC. This SARVAC group looked absolutely wonderful, Carrie Lynn. If you ever have people that ask about volunteers, they help with flyers. They give all kinds of assistance to families, and they're nonprofit. They don't charge, which is wonderful for people with missing persons. So there are Canada friends. All right, you guys, here we go with our story on Miss Kim Porter. Look at her. What a beautiful young woman, 47 years old. She passed away. She and Diddy were together from 1994 to 2007. They had 3 children. They had a son and a set of twins. He has 3 other children. Extended family. So Kim Porter was a loving mother. She stuck by his side. She was a model, beautiful woman. She took a trip to Africa when she came in 2018. When she came back from Africa, felt like she was getting a cold. So she did go to a doctor. She was under a doctor's care during this time. Okay. I'm almost, there they are. She's such a pretty woman, so sweet looking. Looking at her chart, what a sweetheart. So there's Kim. I think because everybody knew about the reputation, let's face it, this is no shock to anybody about what happened to him. It's not a shock. This has been going on for what, 30 years now? Now, the indictment said 2008. Isn't that funny? That's when the Pluto return started in the United States. The indictment was 2008. But it's been going on way before that. Everybody knew. He's been on social media talking about his parties, nothing like a Diddy party. Everybody knew about these parties. I don't think we knew about the extent of the grossness. I guess that's what you call it. But we knew they were parties, like weird stuff. I mean, we've seen the Justin Bieber videos, the ones that are coming out now. Now, this is the home of Kim Porter. She was pronounced dead at 11:40 a.m. in let's see, November 15th, 2018 in California. Okay. She had called Diddy and said, "Will you please take the kids? I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling well." She was sick. She had gone to the doctor, sore throat, just feeling bad. And maybe she caught something nasty from Africa coming on a trip. We don't know. Okay, she was found. There she is. So what happened is it seemed like there had been like a delay with her autopsy. Now, there were rumors that a medical examiner said, "No, I have found poisoning." And then he apparently was either fired or suddenly mysteriously died. But there's no record of a first autopsy. There's absolutely no record anywhere of this alleged autopsy where somebody said that she had been poisoned. Her cause of death was pending results, and her cause of death has always been listed as pneumonia. Always. So that can stop that rumor. Now, Diddy's bodyguard did say that the bodyguard that's talking a lot, I know you guys have seen him, he's on social media a lot, said all of her electronics, all of her phones, everything disappeared. Things disappeared from her home. That's a little bit sus. But that doesn't mean she was poisoned. It's suspicious, but it doesn't mean she was poisoned. So let's take a look. There's her lovely home. Now, this is the story that came out recently, that she had given somebody it was on the computer. Somebody is working on a tell-all book that has just come out like last week, and blah blah blah. It's a book from the grave. Okay, that one of her friends went undercover and has now published this book. Okay. Well, her children came out yesterday. There's her beautiful, there's the twins, there's her son, there's the kids. The kids came out and made a statement saying, and this is horrible for these children, they've lost their young mother in 2018, about their mother's tragic passing. It was a joint statement. A typo-ridden memoir that claims to have been written by Porter before her death in 2018. The siblings bashed the so-called memoir under a pseudonym by a self-described investigative journalist as 100% fake. They said, "We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle and and how she should be remembered, the loving woman she was. So the children have come out, stuck together and said, this book is a fake. Okay, that's the kid's statement. I feel bad for these children. Dad is locked up, and now mom, a 59-page tell-all book of what a jerk dad is, when we all know it already. You don't have to tell us, we already know. Let's take a look. Now, her event chart, as you all know, we do event charts here in forensic astrology. When an event occurs, I did an event chart, and there was nothing really to the event chart. So I thought, let's take a look at her natal chart and the transits, which the transits are the planets that are going around the wheel in green, as you can see. That's what the planets were doing on the day that she was pronounced dead. Do we see any death patterns? Now, what's a death pattern? That's a very touchy subject on an astrology chart, because we really cannot predict death, but we can see where someone may be sick. We could see where an accident may have occurred, because we look at patterns. Astrologists look at patterns. When I've looked at a lot of event charts, and I know Keith has heard me say this 1,000 times, when the lunar nodes are triggered, that's when I have seen a death occur. What are the lunar nodes? They are places that are out in the universe. We have the North Node, which is your destiny, your soul chart, your soul, what you came down here to work on. And then we have your South Node. Your South Node are your past incarnations, your past lives, and your karma that you came here to work on. So it makes a little bit of sense that a North Node may be triggered as your destiny. Was it your destiny to check out? Or South Node is when we see loss. When we see a lot of deaths occur on a South Node eclipse, that's when we see deaths occur. Like the one coming up October the 2nd is in Libra on the South Node. You'll notice that there will be deaths. It's the pattern. So Kim was a Sagittarius sun. What a lovely chart. She was a Cancer moon, which would have been a loving mother. Loved her, moody as a Cancer, loving mother. She was a Pisces rising, just a sweet. The Pisces and Cancer, very sweet disposition, fun. The sun up in the 10th house, that shows the fame right there. She, even without Diddy, she would have been famous without him, with those planets where, up on the MC, up at the midheaven. That's what we see as a career. So she had Neptune up there. By the way, extremely psychic too, because she's got that the moon, Neptune, moon up at the midheaven would be very clairvoyant. So that's just her. Now, what's interesting, she also has her North Node on her, close to her ascendant. Yeah, pretty close to her ascendant. Another sign of fame. Pay close attention to Black Moon Lilith, is the little moon over in the 7th house. I want everybody to pay close attention to the Black Moon Liliths that we're going to pull up on these charts. But to get through Kim's chart, we see Mars was transiting at 29 degrees. Okay, now there is, I guess I'll tell you about him. We'll go on. Okay, 29 degrees is what we call an anaretic degree. It's endings. It can be endings. It can be when a planet is at its strongest position before it switches, and it switch signs. This one is in Aquarius. Mars was in Aquarius at 29 degrees. It was conjunct her natal north node. Remember how I told you that it would have affected a north node? There we go. So we already see right out of the gate a north node. North node. So if Mars was conjunct her north node, it was opposing her natal south node. Beth. Because I look at the lunar nodes, transiting Uranus, which is going around, squared the north node that was transiting at that time too. So there was a lot of nodal type energy going on, lots of nodal stuff going on. Okay. It was Saturn and the south node were together. There was a lot of natal stuff going on. So when we look and see about a death like that, Mars would indicate a fever. Okay, so a fever. Neptune would be the pneumonia. Neptune was transiting in her ascendant. The ascendant is the physical body. Chiron is also wounds, body. So Chiron was on her ascendant as well. So she had Chiron, Neptune, North Node, so much going on. Pluto was squaring Uranus. We want to look at those planets for Pluto, Saturn, Mars, Uranus. That's where we kind of look. Now, we don't know. Neptune can also be poisoned. So the story of her being possibly poisoned, could it have been could it occurred? Sure. Neptune's right there. Do I think it occurred? No. I think she passed away with exactly what they said happened. I don't see anything. If anybody else, and if Rue could see anything nefarious in this chart, I would love to hear it. But I just don't see it. So I would say pneumonia, illness. I would just say that. But what was funny, when I pulled up the event chart, Black Moon Lilith was sitting. I couldn't get rid of Black Moon Lilith, I swear. Black Moon Lilith was sitting on her ascendant in the event chart. So I'm like, oh, crap. What am I going to do now? But I didn't want to dig into it. I didn't want to put something there that there was nothing else to back it up. You know, that's just my opinion. I'm 55. I'm more 75. It was pneumonia. 25 could have been poison, but I don't think so. I just don't think so. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you think he did it? Why would he have done that? They were close. The bodyguard said they got along very, very well. With it, they had the children together, and they raised their children. They were close, and that was kind of that. What do you all think? What do you guys think? Anybody in the chat have an opinion on with Kim, or do you think let's just wait and see with Kim? I know it's also sketch right now. That's her chart. So let's pull up the Diddler's chart. I got to find the one that I made all my notes on, and the only one I can find right now is Obama, because I've got about 25 notes on his chart. So I messed up. I really did a mess on Diddler's chart. So I might flip ahead to, let's go to the next one. Oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Crap. Okay, here we go. Okay, where do all the roads lead to? Look at this. Who are the players? Okay, are you guys sitting down for this little story? So when I went to see some of the players, I thought, who is this Desiree Perez? Does anybody know who she is? Okay, she is Jay-Z's CEO. She is in charge of his billion-dollar empire. Desiree Perez. Let me tell you a little bit about Desiree Perez. Now, I'm not saying that people don't reform. They do. And God love them if they do. I give them all the props. In 1994, Desiree's family and she were coke dealers. In Miami, she was arrested for 35 kilos of cocaine in 1994. Then in 1998, this is down in Miami, there were other federal charges. 35 kilos. This family, this cartel, I'm calling them a cartel family in Miami, distributed tons of cocaine back in the 1990s. Guess how much time she did in jail? Desiree Perez. Guess how much time she did in jail? 5 months. 5 months. There are court papers and court documents that state that she is a known Fed. She worked with the feds. She wore wires. She worked with feds to bring down some of the biggest cartels to get out of. She worked with the feds. That is Desiree Perez. There's no date of birth anywhere. There are no court papers. There's no indictment anywhere. There is nothing. There's no information that I can get up off of the internet for her chart. Nothing. Zero personal information. It has been wiped. Wiped. Because if it's out there, I'm going to find a timestamp. I can find a timestamp. Nothing. She is Diddy's top, not Diddy, Jay-Z's top dog. She runs all of his companies. Look her up. Now, when Donald Trump left office in 2020, was it? Yeah, 2020, at 1 a.m., he pardons people. Guess who he pardoned? Donald Trump, through an attorney named Van Jones, who's a commentator guy, I guess, on TV. I've known Van Jones as an attorney. He worked in the Obama administration, I do believe. I think he's a good lawyer. Van Jones represented her and went to Trump. Trump pardoned Desiree Perez. Okay? So that all of that stuff has been pardoned from her record. Now, don't you tell me how interesting that is. So these are our players. She has, you can look her up on the internet. There is absolutely nothing that you can find on Desiree Perez. Nothing. Nothing. So I thought you guys would find that pretty interesting on Big Desiree. Okay, let's move on to Diddy's. I know, look at the comments. Everybody's like, WTF, 5 months? Wow, is she still alive? Yes, she is very much alive. Very, very much alive. We're only getting to the bottom of this. Told you, when I start digging, I will find stuff. Okay, who's our other players? Obama and Diddy. And the only reason I went to that, because everybody was like, they want the top dog. Well, who's the toppest of the top? It would be Obama, because apparently Jay-Z is pretty non-touchable. Here's who we have in common on all of these charts. Black Moon Lilith. Like I said, she's a spot out there. She is the forbidden fruit. She is primal energy of the feminine. When I see, she's very prevalent in trafficking charts. When women can be trafficked or abused, Black Moon Lilith is usually somewhere in the charts. It's where she shows up. It's very feminine, dark energy that you have to work through. Black Moon Lilith is very karmic, black, dark energy that you have to work through, kind of like Pluto. Okay, here's Diddler's chart. Now, this is the chart I want to show you guys, Diddler. Now, this is how I do a chart, but all of those yellow highlighted spots are aspects. This is his natal chart alone. Aspects. That's when the planets are talking, whether they're arguing, whether they're getting along, but they are communicating. That's who Black Moon Lilith is talking to on his natal chart. In Cancer at 26 degrees in the 4th house. That's mama stuff. That's a lot of mama things going on. Female could be ancestral. This could be brought in karmic. This could be very karmic, what he's dealing with now. I believe it very well could be. 4th house could be lineage. We don't know. But I wanted to show you the things that I found on, just the yellow. Look at that yellow. First thing you want to look at is look who the Black Moon energy is arguing with. Completely opposing. Opposing is when nobody's getting along. Mars. So Mars is up there in Capricorn. I think, oh, my cat's howling for some reason. It's been a weird week. Okay, so okay, my bad. This is the chart I want you guys to look at. So here's the Diddler's chart with Black Moon Lilith. We've got squaring Venus. Okay, so we know that Venus is another female energy. Squaring Venus, opposing Mars, squaring Jupiter, trining Neptune. Neptune could be a lot of drugs. Lots of drugs. Sextiling Pluto and then opposing his ascendant. Okay, what does that mean in his chart? Okay, so he is my bad, I had the wrong chart up. Rising Capricorn. Okay. Now, when I just kind of looked at this, the midheaven is Scorpio. He's a sun in Scorpio. Mercury in Scorpio. Smooth talker. Very smooth. Black Moon Lilith is sitting. If you look on his chart, look at the 7th house, right on an angle. Angular houses are very, very strong. So he's sitting right there. I don't know. It's just interesting that I think all of his issues that he has, some of the issues with some of these aspects, okay? Unpredictable. Abrupt behavior. Difficult in relationships, can be abusive in relationships, narcissistic, needs to focus on mental health, could have possibly had emotional abuse, one-track mind, aggressive, sexually charged, violent, unpredictable, diabolic, mean, untamed feminine energy. That's a lot of stuff to work on, isn't it? A lot of stuff for him to work on. So the North Node is down there in Pisces, which is coming in here to find spirituality. Don't know if he did that, but that's his chart. It's very sad. Now, what's interesting on his chart, there is a Serbian astrologer that does the degrees. He's famous for this, Nikola. And he says that if you have an 8, an 18, a 22, in your chart, those degrees are very malefic and you've come here to really work on them. Okay. So what's funny is 18. Okay. 18 says you've come in here on his north node. Okay. Which is his destiny. 18 degrees. According to Nicola, you've come in here to work on your karmic path, which is find the spirituality, the peace. This is a tough natal chart. Very tough. Look up at 22. His 22 in Venus. 22 degree is kill or be killed. Lovely. So, I mean, I think it's a very sad chart. I think if it would have been one of those charts that a natal chart that you would have said, you know, get somebody into help right away with female issues, and because it's all there. It is so there. I mean, that Mars is sitting right there. Look at that. Right on the ascendant. That's somebody that just blows up. And it's opposing Lilith. Isn't that wild? Do you guys find that wild? Chiron is opposing Uranus. Chiron is opposing Pluto. This is a tough chart to pick. So the South Node would be in Virgo, up in the 9th house. So what did he come here to do? No, my bad. 8th house. 8th house came in. So it's a very karmic chart. In Virgo. Could have been a doctor. Must have done something. I don't know. Pluto and Uranus are right next to each other. They're pretty far apart, though. So that's his chart. It does fit him well, Michelle. It does fit him well. It's a sad chart. It's a very, very sad chart. So that's his chart. So we're going to move on because it gets even more interesting. Let's take a look. Oh, here's the interesting one. Obama. Now, what I found interesting about Obama's chart. Now, okay, not to be confusing, his natal chart is the wheel in the middle. His transits are the wheel that go around where the blue is. Look where Lilith is over to the right on his chart. Look at that. Look where Black Moon Lilith is over on the angle of the 7th house again. Well, we've got another number 22. His ascendant is at 22 Aquarius. Another 22. Every president's chart that you look at, I don't care, from Washington to Lincoln to Kennedy to Carter to you name a president, they have a 10th and 11th house pact. It's every single president. His 10th house is empty. I found that very interesting. Scorpio ascendant. Okay. He's an Aquarius rising. His moon, he's got a Gemini moon. So I found that very, very interesting with Black Moon Lilith with him. So what else does he have? Let's take a look. So you already know he's got Black Moon Lilith in there playing pretty strong. Okay. So I pointed to Black Moon Lilith. That Neptune, again, we've got another 8 degree. 8 degree, according to Nicola, the Serbian astrologer from the degree theory, which he did hundreds and hundreds of charts. 8 is this darker side of magic. So that you come into this incarnation, your choice is you're going to have a darker side that you can go on, or you can go on the light path. That's your karmic, that's you, one of your signs for your karmic energy. And it's up there. Neptune is up at his midheaven in 8, Neptune. He's also a very prominent aspect in a chart is when Neptune squares Mercury. You know, Mercury is the communicator. And when it squares Neptune, that's a fibber. That's somebody that tells big fibs. It's a fib. It's a fibbing. It's a fibbing one. Black Moon Lilith is square his midheaven. Black Moon Lilith conjuncts Uranus. They fight soul growth when they go against their North Node. They fight soul growth when they go against their North Node. The North Node is in there with Black Moon Lilith, Uranus, and the North Node. Now, what's funny about this particular chart, this natal chart, look at that packed 7th house. When you see Uranus, especially Uranus in there, Black Moon Lilith, I have a packed 7th house. That's the house of the native that has a packed 7th house like that. It's normally divorced and married quite a few times. It's the house of relationships and marriages. Apparently, I think he's only been married once. That's the house, especially with Uranus in there. That would be a lot of relationships. What's interesting too about this chart? Let's see, we've got the 8, we've got the 22 on this chart, and I think we've got an 18 in this chart. His Mars is at 22. Again, these are the malefic degrees. We have 22, 8, and then 18 degrees on the ascendant. His ascendant is 18, which is the karmic path. Coming in for the karmic path. Work on your karmic path. You pick the path to walk. What's funny is looking at his transits right now, Pluto is teetering between his first house and the 12th house. 12th house is karma. It's hidden enemies. It's prison. It's hospitals. His 12th house is ruled by Capricorn. Who is that? That's Saturn. So he's got Saturn in there as well, which makes it even stronger. Makes it even a more karmic chart. So it's crazy when the ascendant is opposing the sun. You reconcile between your true self and the person that you show others. That you have a hard time reconciling that. Okay, there's a lot to unpack in this chart. There's, Aquarius rising is the collective. It's the rebellion. It's going against the grain. It's not, I don't like the rules. I can be a little standoffish if I feel people look at me as being cool and collected. His North Node is in Leo, being warm, being the leader, being warm, being the heart, loving with the heart in the 7th house in relationships. Crazy. You're not who you show the world. He's not who he shows us. It's crazy. Isn't this crazy? That's his natal chart. Now, let's see what else is going on with him. I don't know. That Pluto moving in the 12th house, if he's got enemies, hidden enemies, we got some stuff uncovering. We got some stuff coming out. I'm telling you right now. And now, last but not least, we're going to look at Jay-Z. I didn't do that much on yet because I was too plugged into these two. Okay. Look at Jay-Z's chart. I only ran the hard aspects. My, oh my. Look who's down there in his fifth house, sitting on the, well, fifth, sixth house. Black Moon Lilith. What do you know? Black Moon Lilith in a freaking T-square with Saturn and Jupiter. What? Here we go. Black Moon. Like, what? Crazy. Crazy. Okay. I mean, aren't these are kind of fun to look at though, aren't they? So we need to dig more into his. Okay. Here we go. Isn't that interesting? Typically, the rich have their own doctor. Not sure why their doctor didn't come into her home to check her. She was under a doctor's care. She had just been to the doctor. She was on medications. She was under a doctor's care. She was. You're talking about Kim. She was under a doctor's care. She was on medications. Now, something else popped up this week. I wanted to show you guys on you remember this map? This is the eclipse map. That blue line, by the way, goes right through Butler, Pennsylvania. I just thought I'd show you that little tidbit. See where that green arrow is? Butler, Pennsylvania. So the astrology was showing us, how do you find all this stuff? Butler, PA. All righty, here we go. Our friend, Miss Carrie Lynn, psychic protection, self-defense, and creating positive energies. She is having a private class on Sunday, September 29th from 1 to 3:30 on her private Facebook page. So for more information, reach out to the best of the best. She is the best. Carrie Lynn's Porch at Gmail. She's the best medium out there. She's the greatest. So if you want to learn from the best, you know what? I would recommend this class for anybody right now during this time frame what a great time to put on this little seminar during eclipse season. Absolutely wonderful, especially clearing energetic cords. What a great thing to do October 2nd. Creating personal sigils, energy shields, talismans, charms, crystals, visualization, understanding psychic vampires. What a great seminar. So email Carrie Lynn, reach out to her if you're interested, September 29th, 1 to 3:30. Gosh, I might have to try to sneak in and take that. What a great class. And don't forget, October 13th, Astrology, the series. That's my class. Transits class is October 13th. If you would like to also join our Facebook group, which is our private group, please PM me, Joni Templeton Skinner, and I will put you in our group. And with our astrology, it's the series group. So PM me if you want me to add y'all to that group. I know, Keith. I told you, it's crazy. I've never seen Black Moon Lilith that active in so many charts that way. I know, Linda, it's going to be an excellent seminar with her. It would just be phenomenal. That hurricane may be coming through here. Our football game may get canceled. If it rains a lot. So I'll jump into the seminar maybe last minute. Okay. According to Nicholas, I will send you his information, Denise, on the degree theory. Now, I can take it or leave it. I use his degree theory in event astrology. The 22, and I've got a lot of 22s. I was born on the 22nd, is kill or be killed. 18 is the very karmic one. 8 would be coming in to make the path on. Are you going to go to the dark side? You know, are you going to be a Darth Vader or are you going to be a Luke Skywalker? That's your choice, your path. So I'll send you the info on him and you can study him. I'm not so sure how it would look on natal charts so much. I looked at it because I noticed a lot of the 22, 18, and 8 on all of their charts. All of their charts. All of their charts. Okay, here we go. I would love to take that class. Maybe it'll help me find our missing persons. Maybe, yeah, astrology will find them. And don't forget also to, here we go, to vote for our very own Keith Ottersberg for the oh my God, Keith is going to kill me. The Face of Terror. It's the contest. It's the terror contest. Go to Keith's Facebook page and vote for Keith. I think we're in round 2 now because I just voted for you. And it's the votes are free. You just click on his face to vote. What's it? The Face of Terror, Keith. It's a contest. So we're going to vote for Keith and he's going to win this year. He almost won last year. He came very close to winning. So everybody go vote for Keith. He's got that link. I also share it on my Facebook page. Face of Horror. Hey, I got it right, didn't I? Oh, I said terror. Face of Horror. I share it on Cobra Paranormal also. Face of Horror. Oh, you're in the 3rd round? I vote for Keith every day. Every morning I get up with coffee and put my vote for Keith. So, okay. I just looked at my new natal and saw it. Okay, I'll send you the info. I think it is very interesting to look at those natal charts. Today is Brittany Wood's 30th birthday. Brittany Woods is a girl that's been missing for, 20 some odd years. 20 some odd years. So, Butler, PA. Yeah, Carrie Lynn does more of shows. Carrie Lynn does private viewings, private settings. Carrie Lynn does not really do true crime work. Really. She's so busy. I'm thrilled to see her here tonight, my buddy. And Keith says it's greatly appreciated. Hello, Miss Sarah. Hey there. How are you guys? And remember, you guys, let's all keep our prayers out for our friends down in Florida. Stay safe. Let's just pray that it's not as big as it's supposed to be. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's a little bit different, kind of a look at, I know it's a mystery, but it's a little bit different than a missing persons, but nonetheless, it's a little exciting. So next week, I will have just we'll get back to our missing persons cases. And don't forget about Carrie Lynn's, and we'll get back to I thought Kim Porter was interesting as well. But we will get back to our missing persons cases next week, and we'll keep up with this. I thought you guys would find Desiree Perez very interesting. I found it very, very interesting that she was pardoned. Why was she pardoned? What was that about? Why was she pardoned? I don't get it. I don't get it. That's the biggest. And I wanted to do her chart, scrubbed. Nothing. You cannot find her. And I know you guys, we do true crime. We look up subpoenas. We look up everything. You can find everything online. Gone. Can't even find a date of birth with her. Can't even find a date of birth on her. Can't even guess. Well, you guys, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Don't forget to share and like, and have a wonderful week coming up. Have a nice week. We got October 2nd. We got our last eclipse in Libra. October 2nd. It's all about relationships. So we're on the relationship ride October 2nd. So have a great week, and we will look at true crime next week, unless this Diddy thing explodes. I don't think it will. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. So have a great week. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at those charts. I found them interesting. The Black Moon Lilith theory. So look up Desiree Perez. Have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next week.